do they see on you? So again, not only do we provide safe and legal abortion, which is incredibly important to have that access in Alaska, but also family planning services, STD testing and treatment, including for a lot of men, and provide vasectomies as well, and also do a whole host of well-woman care. We are, again, for a lot of women, they come to Planned Parenthood because they need birth control, but then that's an opportunity to make sure they get their screenings and whatever else. We became the sort of topic of a lot of political controversy in 2010 when, in fact, the U.S. House of Representatives voted to eliminate the ability of women to go to Planned Parenthood for basic preventive care. This was right after the Tea Party swept the national elections, and so it really has put this issue of women's access to health care on the front burner. And fortunately, we were able to defeat that in the Senate, and that was with the leadership of Senator Begich and, frankly, the support of Senator Murkowski as well. For a lot of folks, they perceive this as not a partisan issue. It's a matter of basic access to health care. But I do believe these issues will be front and center again in this election. So today I'm really here on behalf of the Planned Parenthood Action Fund, which is the organization through which we mobilize and educate voters about what's at stake in the election. Senator Begich has already alluded to it, but I think there were some just basic healthcare issues that are such a dividing line between him and the folks on the other side. I wasn't at the recent debate, if you will, but I certainly saw the transcript and the follow-up articles about what really seems to be a race to the furthest edges of the right by folks who are now vying for the opportunity to run for the United States Senate. And not only are these candidates saying that they want to overturn Roe, they also want to get rid of family planning access, and they supported the Hobby Lobby decision. They've said they want to end access to Planned Parenthood. And it seemed like they didn't even, some of them said they didn't even know where they stood on equal pay for women. I would argue that in the 21st century, if you don't know where you are on equal pay for women, you're unqualified to serve the United States Senate. This is simply not a complicated issue. So, but what we do know as well is that for a number of women, not just in Alaska, all across the country, a number of women won't go to vote in November because they either don't know what's at stake or, frankly, no one bothers to talk to them. And what we are spending our time and energy doing across the country now is talking to every single woman we can about not only about what Planned Parenthood believes in and what our mission is, but where candidates stack up. And I'm thrilled to be here because I think Senator Begich, sometimes, sometimes folks get elected to office and you have to go in and kind of explain things to them about women's health and really get them on the right track, and that was never true with Mark Begich. I feel like from day one, one of the first votes he took was on equal pay and the Lilly Ledbetter Act, and then every single battle we've been in, whether it was to protect Planned Parenthood services, whether it was Violence Against Women Act, whether it was support for health services for women in the military, Hobby Lobby, you just go down the line. He's someone I've never had to use this with, right? I mean, it is like this, and don't think I won't. But I really think I think this is the difference between, and it's the difference in the center of having someone who's a vote and who's actually a leader. And the exciting thing to me is the 8 years I've been at Planned Parenthood, it used to be whenever a women's issue came up, although I would say women's health isn't a women's issue, it's actually a family issue, it's an American issue. But it used to be you could count on Patty Murray, you could count on Barbara Boxer, and you could count on a few women senators who are really strong. But the other great thing is they're being joined by Mark Begich and other men who understand that these are basic issues and transcend gender. I'll say one thing about Hobby Lobby, and then I'd love to just open it up and hear what's on your mind. We knew about 6 months ago that this decision was going to be, we knew the argument was going to happen, we knew the decision was going to come down, and we thought it was critical that women understand, and men understand what was at stake. It was a devastating decision. I think that there's a majority of the Supreme Court who say that a CEO and his or her rights to their own religious views trump the rights of their employees to basic health care access is really, really disturbing. And I think it's a very slippery slope. Once you go down that road, and actually I'll say to some of my labor friends are here, it was the same day, and it's actually kind of interesting because my husband's in the labor movement. And that's really where that's where my roots are. But on the very same day that we got the Hobby Lobby decision, of course, the Supreme Court also took away the right to organize for thousands or hundreds of thousands of women in this country who work as home health care aides. So this is a court that is not only against women's health, frankly, they're against women's rights, as far as I can tell. And I've never been prouder of the 3 women on the Supreme Court who valiantly articulated what the impact would be of these decisions on women. But I will say, we are completely committed at Planned Parenthood to getting this right. We're working with the administration to make sure that we actually address the women who've lost coverage. But I do think it's important to remember it was because of the fight that you all made, and a lot of other folks from this country made, and Mark Begich made, that women now in this country, more than 40 million of them, are getting affordable health care, whether it's preventive, their well-woman checkups, their cancer screenings, and their birth control for no copay. This is revolutionary, and that's why these guys are fighting so hard to take it away. As their Begich reference, I just looked at the numbers for 2013. Women in America saved $483 million more on birth control in 2013 than the year before, and that's completely because of this law, and that's only going to increase. We're seeing at Planned Parenthood a reduce in teen pregnancy rates, reduce in unintended pregnancy rates, and frankly, we're reducing the abortion rates in America. That's because women have better health care access. And so I'm here, and we'll be here, and Planned Parenthood is completely Planned Parenthood Action Fund and Planned Parenthood folks and our partners here on the ground completely committed to making sure that every single woman and men who love women know about the difference in the candidates, and then we get women out to vote in November. So with that,
yeah, that's
I'd love
great.
to hear from you all.